Alright folks, here we are back at Stanfield Automotive. We're still on this Jeep. We're putting the engine back together. I'm trying to show you guys the best pictures I can. Like I said before, it's only me, so hey, I ain't got a cameraman, you know what I mean. We just gonna put this thing back together anyway. And I have used my Uncle Joe's all-purpose hand cleaner, and I've cleaned all of my push rods. Alright, so it's time to put these push rods back down in here. But now look, when you put these push rods back in, don't just think you're gonna drop them off down in the engine and go. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys. You've got to look over in here with a flashlight to put these back in. You're not gonna get them right, and you're gonna be on the edge of something, or you're not gonna be in the hole and you're gonna have problems. So let's do it right the first time. Let's just take a flashlight, look down in the hose in your cylinder head, and make sure we got our push rods and our lifters. Now I'm gonna try to plug this here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Here. Now, alright, here we go. Got my push rods all nice and pretty and clean. See, that's how the Uncle Joe's cleaner does it. See, they shine. It's still got some brown tarnish on it, and you can feel there's oil still on them. I do not like to use gas or abrasive cleaners to get the oil off my engine parts, because oil is good for an engine. Of course, they're supposed to have it. I'm going to walk over here my flashlight while I'm talking to you guys. Engine's got to have oil. Everybody knows an engine's got to have oil. I don't know if that's covering that microphone or not, but we're going to go with it. Alright, engine's got to have oil. Now, like I told you before, before you put your lifters in, use the Lucas oil stabilizer to put down in on your cat, directly on your camshaft. The oil stabilizer from Lucas is sticky. It will stick to it and keep you from galding your lifter, flat part of your lifter, which sits on your cam to raise it up and down. You crank it dry, it's going to ruin it. It'd be like rubbing sandpaper across it. But you want to get that right down in that hole. Okay. Right down in the hole. Here we are. There we go. All of them. Just like so. Just like that. See, you can't push that lifter down. Neither one of them. You can my new one, because it's not fully primed, and it won't be until we crank the engine. But it's got oil in it. Good lifter. It is not moving. Just a little bit. They're made to move just a hair, but not a bunch. So we need all the lifters back down in the engine, all the push rods. And notice the head ain't off this truck. Nope, we don't pull heads here unless we got to. That's just a waste of money. Now, on that back one, you may have to look a little sideways through here, because you can see through the journals whether you got it in or not. Okay, now some of you have a little bit of high-tech tools that old country boy here, we don't have that kind of things with the cameras on it to look off down in there. And they make those at Walmart. I think they're fairly cheap. They're like 50, 60 bucks now, I seen the other day. And I'm thinking about buying me one, because it'll make life a little easier. You can look in there and make sure you hit that hole and not even have to climb up there. Good inspection tool too. So now we have our push rods back down in there, and we're fixing to drop the rocker arms back on it. Okay. Now I'll label these so I know exactly which ones come off which ones, because I'm just that kind of guy. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go right opposite what we done when we took the engine apart. Okay? So you're going to get these things set back over where they go, just like so. Don't tighten these down yet. You can run them down finger tight, and that's it. Not very finger tight, because you want oil to go under the rocker arm. And we're going to call it a thingamabob, because I went blank for a second. Your rocker, your little bushing that goes in there, you want oil under that so that it's not cranking dry And make sure you hold these things straight, guys, because they will walk off and bend the push rod. So once you get them on, just turn them a little bit, make sure they're locked properly. That's what we're going to do. Make sure they're locked properly. Let's get these needle nose out of our way. I'm a little bit of a messy mechanic here today. So we will get all this put back together today. We will see the Jeep run here shortly. Now I'm not going to stay on here and make a big old long video of me doing this because it takes a minute. But I'm going to get a couple of them started and show you that what I'm talking about by pouring oil down the engine. What the heck, let's just go ahead and start them off so you guys can see what she's supposed to look like. Now I ran out of Lucas. I'm pretty sure I did. I know I did. So I'm going to use regular motor oil, which ain't no bad thing because it got on the camshaft load, and that was my biggest concern, was the camshaft load. Oh man, now, this thing got a little cool down here in Alabama, and the sinus weather is kicking in. Let me tell you, and it's been dry. We ain't had no rain in months now, it seems like. Don't know what's going on with the weather. Of course, I'm not a weatherman, so we won't even go there. See, I left them loose so I can get oil down in under everything. Last one. Now, what we gonna do here? We're gonna get this thing running so you guys can see it. No more popping through the intake. Problem solved. Boom. Good old handy-mandy job done for less than 40 bucks. Actually, it didn't cost that. The lifter was $4. As I told in the other picture, the other video I made, lifter was $4. The gasket was, I think, $23 at AutoZone. I did find a whole set of lifters on eBay for $17, which is a great buy, and I'm probably going to order a few sets of those because this seems to be a trending problem with the Jeep, the popping and loss of power. Alright, now here's my cup of oil that I prime my lifter with. Alright, now look, this ain't got nothing to do with priming no engine or anything like that. All this has got to do with is so you do not crank this engine with the top of it dry. You pour you a little bit in each rocker arm cup and it will run through. Just a little bit. You ain't gonna pour no whole bunch of honey in it. Just a little bit. Enough it's not dry or any of that good stuff. Now, and I'm going to show you what priming the engine. I like to pour a little down on my lifters. Alright. There we go. That's done. Alright. Now, we're going to torque all this back down. Proper tools. We will redo exactly as we took it apart. Now, I don't torque to the last ordeal, so it might not be showed. I always get mine pulled on down here. And folks, these lifters, these are torque to yield. What that means is I'm not sure because I will have to look and see what the torque specifications on them are, but there is no valve lash adjustment. If there is a reason that you are needing to adjust your lifters on one of these, you got other issues, my friend. You got a camshaft wore out, or the reason we're doing this, a lifter gone. And that's all there is to it. There is no adjustment. I've been seeing mechanics on here saying, oh, you need to adjust your valve lash. Well, this particular engine does not have a valve lash adjustment that I found. And the Chilton's book, or Haynes manual, says, I won't say they torque to 14 foot-pounds, but what I mean, they're torque to yield. That means that there's no adjustment. You bottom them out. You just run them down there. Doesn't snug because you're going to need to go back over this with a torque wrench. Then torque it to the specified thing, and we will look in a book right here in a second. We will find out what our specified torque is, and we will get our torque wrench out, and we will torque this set of rocker arms. Now, if some of them are not straight, and I'll show you here in just a second, I ran into this before with this engine, you will need a pair of count locks, which I'm retrieving as we speak. The reason for this is, when we took this thing apart, some of those bent, you can see they're not perfectly straight. Now I'm going to take my wire pliers that I just went and got, and I see this, I'm going to pull that thing around there back to its set spot, because sometimes they bend when you take them off. They'll be so tight and gummed up. So you want to just grab a hold of it, pull it back around there, straighten it up so they don't jump off, and that right there will get you back to running. Jeep, Dodge is the only ones that has those like that. It's not a really good design, but it's there. That's what it is. And you got to straighten them out, bend them back. It's the little keepers. You don't warm out here. You got to straighten them out and get them back where they'll set perfectly on the thing, on the valve. So that right there is how you do that. And we're going to get a torque wrench. We're going to torque all this down. We're going to put the valve cover back on it and fire it up and see what we got. Now we'll see y'all next time here at Stanfield Automotive when we put the main bearings in this Jeep. So y'all have a good day and keep on tinkering.